Ever since I posted that video on my menopause story, I've been getting a lot of messages, and I'm not surprised because most of my clients are actually pre-menopause or post-menopause. Um, so I thought I would share with you some information that I use when I coach my clients, because I don't just give out meal plans and stuff. I really try and explain what's going on. So let me just show you what's going on. Pull up this diagram. Here we go. All right. We're in our 20s. Here we are, 2025. Estrogen, the teal green line, let's call it, and progesterone, not a very good green line, but anyway. Younger, the estrogen and progesterone are kind of equal, the ratio between the two. As we get older, this says 35, the hormones start to decline, but the progesterone actually declines at a much faster level. So what happens is, although both hormones are going down, the ratio between the two has increased, and we call this estrogen dominance. And this is where we can all get a little stuck. This is where women struggle, and you can see how long it can last. I mean, it can last a decade or so. This is where progesterone helps calm us, right? So your mood can change. Estrogen inhibits cortisol to some extent. So cortisol can become more of a factor. But they're both dropping, but we actually are estrogen dominant. Now, can you imagine if you slap an estrogen patch on top of this situation without balancing out the progesterone, which I see a lot? I can't believe that. Now, you know, it's terrible. I've had ladies sitting across the table from me, and they're hysterical, and they've gained 20 pounds. And they're the women that scare us off HRT, right? Because it kind of all went wrong. Anyway, estrogen dominance here. Both hormones are falling, but it's the ratio that is the problem. So when I first started taking HRT, I just took a little bit of progesterone, and it works great for years. It just tipped that up so the ratio wasn't as great. As time progressed and my estrogen got lower, then I needed a little bit more of a helping hand. But again, in 2 videos ago, go check it. The amount I take is so conservative that I think you might be surprised. What else is going on? So estrogen, it's got, you've got 3 fat hormones. You have estrogen, you have cortisol, and you have got insulin. We've actually got a lot of fat hormones, but let's just talk about estrogen, cortisol, and insulin. This is what I coach. Most of my clients are right in here dealing with this. Estrogen's dropping down. I mean, estrogen actually, estrogen inhibits lipoprotein lipase, which is an enzyme that helps us store fat. So when estrogen drops, that enzyme can get really active, and that can cause middle-age spread. Like I say, it inhibits cortisol. So now cortisol may be more of an issue. Add all this to the fact that you're not sleeping, you're getting hot sweats. Most women gain 30 pounds unnecessarily during this period, and you might be slightly depressed or anxious. Once you get through it, then this is kind of why I was a little bit excited. It kind of evens itself out at the end, because it is this imbalance that is the problem for most women, and you can't treat each hormone just individually. You have to look at the balance of not just these hormones, of all the hormones. So that is what I coach. That is what a lot of you are dealing with. Like I say, if we talk about the 3 hormones, talk about cortisol, estrogen, and insulin, unless you do HRT, there's not much we can do. In the estrogen is a funny one. There's people that go the natural route, people that go the HRT route, which I still think is the natural route, actually. But estrogen, there might be not so much we can do about that. But cortisol and insulin, absolutely. And this is what I coach. So I hope that helps answer some of the questions I've been getting.